Good evening, everyone. I think firstly, the batting group which we have this year is amazing. I mean, most of the batters they are in good form. Guys from overseas also in good, very good nick. Had a very good World Cup as well. See, frankly, I'm not going to tell you the lineup, what lineup we are going to go with. But as I said, all the batters who are here at the moment are very good in nick, and we just started our camp 2 days before, so we're really excited for the season. And yeah, combination as we'll see how it goes. It's difficult, and I mean, guys, the question from someone and asking someone else to answer that question is different.
Yeah, we got 5 of those, and then we'll throw it to the second question.
Yeah, second question, NDTV Rodar Mukherjee is asking another question directed to you. You've been a stalwart of Indian cricket, gone through many ups and downs, but do you think is the season where you are facing the most pressure, particularly given the last year's how the things have gone?
Every year, there are different challenges as a player and also as a captain. What I learned from my throughout my journey is be positive each and every time. Whatever challenges are there, I've been leading the team since last year, and really grateful to the franchise that they gave me this responsibility to lead the team. And as I said, taking everything in my stride, taking everything in a positive way. There are always opportunities, when there are challenges, you always see opportunities. So my mindset has always been like that throughout my career, that if I see any challenges or particular, if something difficult is, I look at it in a positive way and try to give my best as a player and also as a captain.
Next question is from News 18, Akash Viswas, again directed towards you. Ajinkya, you've been retained as a captain to provide stability. After the last year's finish, what is one specific area of team's culture or on-field approach that you are most determined to change this season?
As a team, we would like to start really well this season. It's a long tournament, and you don't want to pick too early. As a team, it's and also the expectations from the boys. Basically, you don't actually looking for a perfect game. There are going to be errors throughout the tournament, but as a unit, what we would like to do is play positive kind of cricket. As I said earlier to a different question, that most of the players are looking in a very good thing. Even Indian players, they had a very good domestic season as well. So as a unit, as a team management, we are really confident about the side that will do really well this season.
Next question is from India Today, Amar Panikar, directed to Shane Watson. KKR seem to have several opening options. Finn Allen, Tim Seifert, Sunil Narayan, Ajinkya Rahane can also open with the bat. In this, where does Cameron Green fit into your system? What is the role you have planned for him?
It's a great question. Let's stop working. Let me turn it
Take
on.
this.
1 second. Hopefully, yeah, when we turn it on, it works. The beauty of this KKR squad is the amount of incredible world-class batting options that we do have this season, and it's an abundance of riches with the caliber of players we do have. Where they all fit in, that's going to be the ultimate challenge for the leaders of this organisation, to be able to try and get those combinations as right as we possibly can from game one, and then make the little adjustments if there needs to be throughout the tournament as well. Obviously with Cam Green and the quality of cricketer he is as an all-rounder, wherever he gets an opportunity, I know he'll really be wanting to make the most of that. But yeah, the beauty is we've got some serious power, world-class players, and a great blend of experience and youthful energy as well. So it's very exciting to be able to see exactly how that's going to play out throughout the tournament.
The next question is from Times Now, Shaunak Ghosh, directed towards head coach. With Harshit Rana out for the season, are we looking to replace him? If not, then who can be an ideal replacement for him in the current squad, given the bonus batting ability that he provides lower down the order?
Well, I think firstly, it is a big blow because Harshit has been an integral part of this team for the last couple of seasons, also the championship season. Over the last year, he's really grown as a cricketer, so we always miss Harshit Rana, not easy to replace him, but having said that, over the last few days we've been looked at a few bowlers. We're trying to evaluate with the help of our leadership group as to who fits in and who can do that role to the best of their progress. So I think we're still evaluating that. Haven't made that decision, but hopefully soon we'll identify someone who we feel can make a difference to the squad.
Just wanted to
Am I audible?
You are.
Yeah.
Just wanted to know from Abhishek, of course, this is one season, KKR without Andre Russell as a finishing option with bat in hand. So do you think that the challenge will be for the Indian options, like someone like Rinku, Ramandeep, Tejasvi is there? So it will be a big season for these guys as well, because they have to play the finishing role. And also, I just want to add one more question. Because there is a little bit of vulnerability in the bowling lineup because of all the injury concerns and all, will there be a more pressure on the batters to score the extra 20-30 runs to get that extra cushion to the bowling unit? Thank you.
Well, I think like Harshit Rana, Andre Russell has been flag bearer of this franchise. So over the years, what he's done in T20 cricket, I think it's going to be hard for anyone to replicate it. I feel it's a season of opportunities. Yes, we've had a few misses with the bowling. You'll have Rinku, Raman do something they've done before. It's not something they haven't done for this franchise. But yes, there's always this pressure. You're playing the IPL, so you expect every player to sort of be true to their potential and try and make sure they can make a name for themselves. But having said that, these are opportunities created for a lot of young cricketers in our setup who can sort of put their name there in this franchise legacy and then create their own brand name. So I think for Raman, Rinku's done it for India for many years. Raman's done it for us in the season that we won the championship. So we are very hopeful that they can replicate these performances and use this opportunity to create something special for themselves and this franchise.
And the 20-30 extra runs for the batters to cover, give the bowling line.
Well, when you're playing at Eden, you need 20-30 runs any which ways because every bowler tends to go here. It's not an easy place to bowl. But having said that, we also have a very strong spin department, so we are hopeful we can money ball our way through this, because like I said, it's a game of cricket. Once you enter T20 arena, it's a very different format from Test. Any player, doesn't matter how big or small your name is, you can make an impact. So we're still hopeful that our bowling unit will not require those 20-30 extra runs and they can do the job.
Gautam.
Sorry for the delay. This is for Abhishek. I mean, in a constantly dynamic world of IPL, you have been a constant feature, whether in the back room or in the front for KKR. This time we see you as as the head coach. So, how does the familiarity of the dynamics of the franchise help? Number one, and number two, you have got a dugout which is the key of entire IPL. I mean, two stalwarts are sitting on either side of you with experience of winning the title multiple times, and you've got Andre still to come as the power coach. So how do you plan to tap into them as you go along? I mean, you've just assembled, but how do you plan to tap into them?
Well, I think that's what the beauty of IPL is, the opportunity to work with legends like Voto, DJ. We got Tim Saudi as well with us, and Veras obviously coming in. But I think it's more players are going to enjoy the luxury of having that much input in the dressing room. I feel for me, yes, the designation has changed, but not a lot has changed because the roles are pretty similar. You just take more criticism and responsibility for what happens. But I think besides that, for me to have these guys sitting next to me and to be reliant on them, I think will help me a lot because these are cricketers who've been very successful in this format, not only in IPL cricket but also around the world. So it's amazing to have such a leadership group, and Ajinkya and me, both of us, I think will rely a lot on our whole support group to make sure that with those little challenges that we have through the season, we can sort of find our way through.
Abhishek, as Watson just told you, you have an abundance of reaches in the top order. But at the same time, looking at the last season, you will see that it is the middle order, the 4th to 8, who has not constantly fired last season. So how do you look to address last season's problem with the reality of this season?
Well, the first thing we did was we got a very capable and able batting coach. No pressure motto. So that's the first thing we tried to do. But see, I've always believed T20 cricket is a game of momentum. It's a game of form. So what happened a year ago doesn't really matter as to what's going to happen now. I think something that is going to be really important is the kind of form our boys hit this season. And if everyone is at the peak of their powers, you expect this team to do really well like they did year before last. So I honestly believe that it's not so much of what happened in the past. We saw that with Sanju Samson in the World Cup as well. It's about being there at that moment in this tournament. So we're very hopeful that our players can start strong. And if you're in good form, it doesn't matter what your name is in this format of the game. I think form counts a lot more than what's happened in the past.
Yeah, hi. This is Varun Chakravarthy from the Midday newspaper, Mumbai. Abhishek, I want to ask you, it's a long tournament. Many teams peak towards the end at the right time. But you have a very big opening game coming up against Mumbai Indians at Mumbai. So how do you see that challenge? Getting a good start, and how do you see that particular thing? I'm asking specifically this question as a for paper.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly believe by this this quote I heard somewhere. Someone once told me is you need to keep your head where your feet are. So we are right now at the Eden Gardens, and we're trying to make sure that the practice match we play now is a preparation and a build up towards the first game in Mumbai. Yes, you want to think about that game, but you want to make sure your team is well prepared. As a support group, we are still understanding the strengths and weaknesses of this team. So we're trying to make sure we are best prepared to give ourselves the opportunity to do really well there. So yes, the expectations are always there, but I believe that the process of reaching Mumbai and being in the right headspace to actually take that game on is more important than hoping what happens there, because like I said, head where my feet are. So I'm here right now.
Like what kind of a opener match you prefer usually?
I may prefer.
No, I mean, even if you're given a choice, Mumbai Indians or some team lower in the thing.
Oh, that way, sir. You're playing the IPL, so it doesn't matter who you're playing. You're going to play everyone twice, some once. So you need to play the game. So I always believe the harder the better, the tougher the battles early in the tournament, the better it is, because you get to adjust and understand your team as well. So there's no harm in being pushed early. You spoke about peaking. So peaking is about the right time. So for us, it doesn't matter who we are playing, as long as we play the best cricket that we can play.
Thank you.
Jinx, Sandeep here from Network. Jinx, first of all, want to know that what role and responsibility have you planned for Cameron Green, especially about using him as a pacer all-rounder in the team, in the absence of like Andre Russell, what role he played for the team?
I think we'll still yet to have a conversation with Cameron Green about his role and the clarity from the management as well. But as Watto said earlier, that he's a quality player. He can bat at any number. We know he can bowl those overs. So we are playing our practice game, first practice game tonight. So it's all about how we go about it. We are actually looking to see the replacement of Arshit, as Abhishek also mentioned. So at the moment, there are plenty things going on for us. But talking about Cameron Green, one thing for sure, he's a quality player. So we'll have a conversation with him, and also we'll discuss within ourselves about his role and his clarity.
I'm Shon from Hindustan Times. My question is for Shane and Ajinkya. The World Cup just happened. We've seen a different, style of batting. Batting has been evolved. Right? It's evolving every season. So now we've seen a different type of batting where the risk factor has gone through the roof. First 6 overs makes a lot of difference nowadays. So do you think that the same ideology will be somehow adopted in the IPL as well? We have had scores like 240, 250 in the past season as well. But do you think that more teams will be, trying to adopt that approach, or is like according to the venue, according to the conditions still?
Yeah, look, a big part of it comes down to the conditions and the calibre of players that you do have in your team. The one thing that we saw even last season with the Sunrisers, because their conditions changed a bit in their home ground, they still continued to try and bat the way they did and get 250, 60 runs. Then it meant that it actually made it more challenging. It was higher risk than it really needed to be. So cricket hasn't evolved that much. Yes, there's more high risk that's being taken from a few batters in particular, but in the end you do, from a batting perspective, you do have to assess the conditions. You do have to really make the most of understanding what you can do to be able to score as quick as you can while not taking like over the top risks when you don't need to. But there's no question that the way the batters and the calibre of batters that we've got in our team as well, that if they have a really good day in the right conditions, that they certainly can push the limit on the highest scores, there's no question. But in the end, you just want to be able to have the batting unit that bats at their very, very best throughout the whole batting order and just score one more run than the opposition.
DJ,
you want to ask?
Same question?
Yeah.
No, I think what was said, I believe, I mean, the numbers, we saw what we saw in the World Cup last couple of years in IPL as well, numbers, runs are going really up, like the numbers. But again, I completely agree with Watto. As a team, as a batting unit, you still have to go there and assess the conditions, situations, and try and play accordingly. It's not only, before the game start, we are thinking about 250, 260. So it's still, for us, keeping it simple, respect the game, respect the opposition, and as he said, if you are chasing the target, one more run than the opposition. So as a team, we like to keep it simple. Game is definitely evolving, no doubt in that. But yeah, for us, it's important to respect the game and respect the opposition in the season.
DJ, Sandeep here. This is our new look KKR team this year. But keeping in mind about the injury concerns, about availability of some of the bowlers, how do you assess the bowling strength of KKR for this season? And I have one question for Nayal as well. Please answer.
I think in any tournament with any team, once you lose some of the key bowling options, these are not things you plan for, but these are things you have to accept. The good thing about Indian cricket, especially at the moment, there's a lot of depth. So they have some guys that we are, as the coach mentioned, that we are looking at. Definitely gonna fill the spot. There's the likes of Umar Malik, Tiagi. These guys are also players who represent the national team at some point in time and also played IPL before. And they are young, exciting talents. So for me personally, I'm happy along with him to work with this group of fast bowlers. We have the best spin duo in the entire competition. So from a bowler point of view, I think we will be fine. Also, you can't forget Piper, who had a fantastic season last year and been the leader of the attack in a few seasons as well. So, yeah, we lost some key players, but I feel comfortable to know that we have what it takes to replace those guys.
Now, sir, for the last couple of days, we saw that a few bowlers gave trial in the KKR nets, and as you must have been planning a replacement for Harshit Rana. But when should we expect an official update about Harshit Rana and who could be his replacement?
Well, I think hopefully soon, in a couple of days. I think there are obviously Harshit is with the BCCI and the COE. So once we get an update from there, it'll be easy. Medical team will communicate to us, and then soon after we'll let you know. But I think, like I said, today is the first practice game. We've got one more game on the 23rd. So we'll try and make sure we evaluate whoever we are picking before we actually make that announcement. So it'll take a few more days, but most probably before we leave for Mumbai.
We'll do a last couple.
What is the latest update on about Matisha Patina?
I should have sent my medical team here. So I see the latest update that we know is he's obviously with the Sri Lankan Cricket Board, and they look after his rehab. And the latest communication that we've sort of had is hopefully somewhere mid-April is when they feel he'll be match fit. That's what we know as of now. So that's the update we've got from the board. So I think that's how it's looking for now.
My question is for Abhishek and Ajinkya. I'm sure you guys have watched the World Cup and have watched Varun bowl in the World Cup. He had a difficult tournament despite taking 14 wickets, being the highest wicket in India. So if you can identify what issues he had during the World Cup, some of the batters tend to play him on the back foot like Brevis or Miller or the England batters also. So if you can just identify and tell like what are the issues Varun is having and how are you planning to rectify that issue in the IPL, because with the impact player rule, teams are tend to obviously target.
Well, I think when you have a long career in T20 cricket, firstly you tend to have such things. It's almost like a batter sometimes not getting runs. A lot of batters at times score runs, but more often than not they don't, and that's how cricket is. And I think with Varun, that's one of the things. He's played so much T20 cricket over the past year. So a lot of teams obviously will try things. Sometimes the conditions are not conducive to their style of bowling. You also need to understand he's always bowling the tough overs for the team. He's bowling in the power play. He's bowling phases of the game where two batters are set. He's coming in and trying to pick wickets. So I wouldn't say there's anything necessarily wrong with him. Sometimes he's had a good 10-day break from the World Cup. I think that break is sometimes what a cricketer requires. And the beauty of team sport is that sometimes if Varun doesn't turn up, someone else does. And we don't want to sort of put that sort of pressure on Varun. He's been a franchise player for us. He's been someone who's delivered year after year. So there's nothing wrong. I just feel that the timing at that point and whatever he was trying to execute, he couldn't to his full potential. But we just try and make sure that he can be at his best. Because if he's at his best, the results. So the conditions and sometimes it's the timing.
Ajinkya, if you can add.
See, I think bowler like Varun, there's always there will be always an expectation from him to pick up wickets, bowl really well. As players, everyone they go through that phase where they're trying really hard, they're preparing really well, but they are not able to perform on the field. I thought in the World Cup, opposition batters, they played really well. Let's give credit to them rather than talking about Varun. I don't see any problem with Varun's bowling ability. We as a group, we are really confident about Varun. And as I said, this I think 10-day break will really help him, especially coming after high-intensity tournament to another high-intensity tournament. I think mental break, that's what you need as a player. So we are not really worried about Varun. I always believe he has always done well for the franchisee, for the country as well. But give credit to opposition batters who played well against Varun. So as a captain and also as a group, as a team, we are not really worried.
Thank you.
One last one before we close.
Abhishek, just want to know, during the season, what should be your greatest challenge? Whether to get the right batting combination order or pick up the right four foreigners?
I'm terrible at predicting what can go wrong, but I can just tell you, I don't know how the tournament will pan out, but I think initially it's making sure we get a fit playing 11, come 29th. I think that is our priority right now, making sure we get our combinations right. Because I always believe when you have new combinations in this IPL, it's about making sure you get your team peaking, yes, everyone in form, but positioning them well enough for them to succeed. So I think that as a group will be our first challenge, and the rest we'll see as it comes.
Thank you, everyone. We'll do a quick picture if anyone wants that picture. Everyone can just look in there. Yeah. Take exactly 20 seconds to take a picture. Yes, can we do it? Stand around. I will say yes.
One second, I'm short on here. I'm sure it's X again.
No, good enough. Okay. 10 more seconds. Yeah, good.